So, Danish, I would quickly want to talk about, the founding of this concept where, probably this is quite novel to the Indian market where a social media character sort of, you know, gets mounted on a large scale. And then this is,
Yeah.
right, in your case, this is the third character. I mean, say
Yeah.
to speak, maybe, French biryani is sort of loosely based on the Shivaji
Yeah.
Metro.
Loosely. Yeah. Loosely. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I just want to know that now that, when you create characters, right, is there more thought and application into it, or do you try to put more depth into it,
Absolutely.
right? Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
The idea is to kind of grow it from there to mounting it to a film, because
Right.
what happens is the kind of position that I put myself in right now is that I'm somewhere invariably responsible for what I do next.
Right.
Because it's not like I'm sitting on a pile of ideas that other people have given me saying, hey, let's collaborate. And
No.
nobody reaches
Right.
out to me. And that's the honest fact, right? I'm being very honest about it. So, it is about meeting like-minded people and saying, guys, okay, what can we do now? Can we do something together? And then it's about just mounting it and putting it out there. And I've been fortunate that, in this little journey that I've had over 3 films and a series now, I've worked with friends and people who become friends in the process to put something out there that's novel, that's young, fresh, unique. It's not like anything else out there. And I'm glad we're doing that. Now, yeah, I don't know about the viability of it, but let's be honest, right? I'm still doing something that's original and authentic to me. Absolutely. And that makes me happy, because that's the idea of doing what you do. I mean, at least for me as a creative person, the idea is to do something that's close to me and something that I enjoy. If I don't enjoy it, then it's pointless to do it.
Absolutely. Right. What's the process of, say, let's take Gopi as an example, right? What's the process of etching out Gopi and then sort of putting body into it and then, stuffing it up with content?
The process is simple. So I'd like to believe I'm half decent at voices and accents and generally body language or whatever. I'd like to believe I'm half decent. Usually when I test something on the internet, I'm doing it as an exercise to kind of build it to something bigger. That's the thought process. And with Gopi, we did a video where Gopi wanted to get married. That was literally the first video that we did.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah.
Thank you. Saying he wants to get married, and he was very honest about it, and honest saying, hey, 9 lakh people get married, but why not me? I mean, I'm not such a bad guy. And that's true, because Gopi isn't a bad guy. I know in my own head and in Gopi that he's just a great guy.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
No, you're right. You're not thinking for yourself. It's almost another human being, right? You're like literally thinking of another guy. You're literally thinking of another guy. You are thinking, what will that guy do? What he won't do. And then once the character is out there, then you realize that, okay, fine. Now this character has certain legs. It has legs. And how can we kind of mount something around it and mount the character as well? Then it's about giving the character a profession. Then it's about putting other people in the ensemble. If you look at the work that I've done, mostly it's been ensemble. It's been very rarely so focused on me and one more person, and it's never that, because the idea is to kind of collaborate and work with more people. And it's so important for every person to be not just a part of that film, but to be a stakeholder and believe in this Gopi guy. Because if they don't believe in it, then it becomes hard for me to pull off what I want to do over there.
Would you say that you're empathetic towards your characters? I mean, even
extremely empathetic. Extremely empathetic, because in my head, Gopi and Nagaraj are two extreme ends of the society that we live in. It's the wrath of Nagaraj that somebody like a Gopi faces. And Gopi is too simple a guy. He's just going about life. He's just happy. He's just happy. So I'm empathetic towards them. And even if you look at humble politician Nagaraj, if you look at it, yes, of course, the one is to say that, hey, it's funny. There is, subtle, there's an undertone of commentary in it or whatever. But at the end of the day, Nagaraj Nagaraj is not a nice guy if you actually think about it. But I still make you fall in love with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's entertaining nevertheless. I mean, to begin
but
with.
you're still rooting for him at some level.
Absolutely.
You're still rooting for him at some level, and then you look at a guy like Gopi, and you will root for the guy because he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Sort of the underdog.
I'm very empathetic towards them. He's the underdog. That's right. Yeah.
Right.